Nice.
I was saying that they made it a political tactic to kill the buffalo. Not only was it economic, like literally they were getting, I think, like $4 per ton of buffalo, and so they realized though they could effectively kill buffalo with these long range weapons, because buffalo, even if one drops dead right next to another one, the other one won't move unless it sees the thing that killed it. So literally with their long range rifles, they could drop 100, 200 buffalo in 30 minutes. And all they would do is cut out their tongue and leave them to rot.
Yeah, that's the photos I saw.
Yeah, and they would just cut out their tongues and leave them to rot. And so it was a political though, as much as economic. So they would make about $4 per ton. So that's killing an animal that big, that has all these fucking resources, and was the whole reason the Comanches were able to survive. And now they're just kind of letting them rot in the fucking plains and worth $4
worth
now.
$4 in a
yeah.
And a fucking
they would just ship these tongues out and shit like that, and they would do a few other things with a couple other things, but essentially like it became political though, because they knew that they would be able to wipe out the Native Americans, especially the Comanches, the last like the last warring tribe to survive and kind of hold true, yeah, starve them out. Yeah, that's, I mean, not only starve them out though, but the buffalo was their teepees, it was their clothing, it was their food, it was their fire, it was their everything, you know. Jeez. The buffalo was literally everything. The Comanches and just the Plains Indians in general, which is what I'm talking about. Yeah, they survived purely off the buffalo and just the open plains, which scared the shit out of fucking frontier Westerners.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah, I could imagine.
But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of good Native American topics we can definitely bring up. I remember talking to my English class about the whole, all the sports teams and stuff. And there's a lot of modern, like if we want to say that Native Americans used to rule shit back only 150 years ago, we have continued to fuck them up until the even now, you know. Now.
Yeah, they've been fighting for Standing Rock for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I was reading something about Oklahoma. The tribes in Oklahoma won a court case for like almost half of Oklahoma State to be given to the reservation, I think the Creek Reservation.
Okay. To give half of Oklahoma State?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, because their original reservation was, it had Tulsa in it.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't allow them to fully recognize the sovereignty of the not only the tribe but the just reservation itself.
Mm-hmm.
So people are still getting arrested due to state law, Oklahoma state law on the reservation,
mm-hmm.
for like drinking and there's some child abuse allegations, but what the tribe wants is for those abuse allegations to be brought to federal court, not dropped. And they're saying we are a sovereign nation. This needs to be a federal case, not a state Oklahoma case.
Yeah.
That just doesn't seem right in the first place,
mm-hmm.
no matter what.
And they should be holding their own law, right? In theory.
If they could. But,
they should be dictating, like, on their own land what is satisfactory and what isn't. You know? Like, one thing we learned in our, it was weirdly enough in my English class in high school, our teacher was really, like, gung-ho about, like, you know, justice and Native American rights and all of this, and she couldn't believe that, you know, just the number of atrocities still going on. But regardless, it's like, you know, these Native Americans, they live more in a communal type of style. You know, it's not all about, like, you can have multiple people in a house and stuff, and, like, that's okay. Like, it's not like how we see it, like, in America, more or less, where it's like, you know, the dad and mom, raised the, you know, the two kids, and it's like aunt, uncle, and the people next to you are helping, and it's like, you know, sometimes these people are sick and they can't be there and stuff like that, and I don't know, but
pretty polygam or
polyamorous, shit like that. But yeah, it's just different, and that's all we want is, like, that's what the white people have been trying to do since the beginning, since we saw Native Americans, was we thought
Life
they
used
were
to scare
wrong
the shit out of
and
them.
immoral.
Scared the
and
shit out of them. The only way they could be doing this is eating each other. Like that kind of thought process. Like what kind of atrocities are taking place in this desert? How could they possibly survive? There's no possible fucking... Like you meet Republicans today. You're telling me this dude, this Westerner is like open-minded and caring and even like literate, you know? Like those fools didn't know what the fuck they were looking at. Not at all. Not at all. With like shamanism and horticulture and sharing the buffalo for all reasons, for their teepees and their
the open land. That's the biggest thing. They did not.
Land.
The open land.
Of course,
the idea of not
like fighting for land. There's always that. But
well, it's not fighting for land. It's the fact that no one owns it. It's that's what people couldn't believe, that no one owned the land.
Why would there be common wars between tribes before the
all
United
the time?
States?
All the time.
That's
They were the Comanches were a warring, raiding tribe.
Okay.
They have a fun little like rise up story. So like before 1625, they were beaten down. They were this tiny little group of just scrounging Native Americans, not liked by like hardly any tribes. They weren't successful. And then Mexico launched, had a war with Spain, I think, or a battle or some shit. Yeah.
16.
Yeah. And Mexico won this battle, or the war, I forget. I don't know. But they kicked out, they won this battle, or at least of Spain. And Spain left like thousands of horses, because they had to leave, so they just left their horses. And then these, of course, this brand new tool came to the Americas, and because horses were kind of native to the Americas. Horses actually evolved in the Americas, and then they were because of like Pangea and shit. They were also went over to Europe and shit.
The camel American?
I don't know.
I've watched like a documentary about.
I can believe it.
How the camel was American when it was covered in ice and snow. I
believe it. But essentially, horses in America became extinct. So now they evolved here, but so they thrived in America. The horses left by the Spanish, and the Comanches weren't the first ones to find the horse, but they're the ones that perfected it. They were the ones that learned how to maneuver and ride a horse like it was their own fucking body. Like it was absolutely insane how they would get their horses. Is how they eventually did it was they would take their fucking lasso, they would ring it around the horse's neck like a wild fucking horse, bring it down, pretty much like suffocate it or choke it almost to death until it's just kind of a body, and then they would slowly rub it and love it and nurse it back to health, and then they would take its nose and go and blow into its nose, and that's how they would bond with the horse, and then that horse is theirs.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Fucking spiritual, bro.
It's really, yeah. That's really fucking crazy.
And if there's anything I learned from this book of the Empire of the Summer Moon, it's just how complex everything was. Because you have another interesting side story of Mexico. Well, it was Texas. New Mexico. I forget. I get a little lost in my geography. But New Mexico is from around the time. Mexico owned this territory. And essentially, they knew the Comanches were out, kind of near the border of them. So what they would do was they would sell land to families wanting to travel west. And they would sell it as a buffer, kind of, in Comanche territory. So they would have these families, and they'd sell them, 20,000 acres, this fucking dream that they could never believe of. And these families would go as a buffer to get murdered by the Comanches, so the Mexicans didn't have, the Mexican government didn't have to go to war with them, essentially. And
you're telling me about this.
And so that's how you enter, the book enters a little mini story of this Parker family. and it follows the story essentially of this little girl, this little white girl, blue eyes, blonde hair, who at 9 years old got captured in a Comanche raid, and she was essentially became integrated into the Comanche tribe and was taught all of their ways, and eventually married a Comanche leader who became a Comanche chief, and so she was the wife of the chief, and she had 2 kids, and one of those kids, his name is Quanah, he became the last great Comanche leader.
And he was half white.
He was half white, and no one knew until he got to the reservation, and under his title, he marked half Comanche, half Parker family, and that's how they kind of figured that out. But just an incredible fucking story, and I'm listening to an audiobook right now, and it is just blowing me away.
I think you'll have to tell them a little bit about the book, because we haven't done a podcast. I definitely know what you're reading, but I don't think anybody else will.
Well, I mean, essentially what I was just describing was all information I got from the book. So if you found that entertaining, you'll find the book entertaining. And it's Empire of the Summer Moon by S.C. Gwynn, which apparently Joe Rogan has a podcast with them, which I just found out, and I just started listening to. So that's pretty fucking cool. But it just trails the rise and fall of the Comanches. It talks about their origins. It talks about what the Comanche warrior would look like, what they would do, how they would, their battle tactics. It just dives into fucking everything. And then it talks about the Westerners too, and it talks about their interactions and the complexities of all that. And it's a 15-hour, I'm listening to the audiobook, 15 hours, but I got 2 hours left, so really close to finishing it. It took me about a week and a half, which I couldn't read like that a day in my life, but thanks to podcasts and shit like that, I can listen like a motherfucker now. I got that. I can learn from listening, which is really cool.
I love that about podcasts. I love that. You turn the screen off. Well, YouTube Premium. Turn the screen off.
Hey, soon we will be involved. I am getting in on it. The family plan
changed my life.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
I can't believe that they fucking had that technology and they're like, nah.
No, we'll wait for 2019 and we'll do the premium.
Yeah,
that's
those sons of bitches.
They're successful with it too.
But we're
been using YouTube for so long, I can't even.
But it's just another subscription.
I can't.
It's another subscription, and I have so many things I'm interested in and want to learn. I have guitar subscriptions, Spotify. I'm on my family's Hulu and Netflix, which is nice. But we're gonna sign up for that YouTube family plan, and up to 6 fucking people.
I'm on my family's Netflix and Vudu.
Okay.
My aunts.
There you go.
That's huge.
Yeah, Vudu is great.
It's huge. Yeah, and she has kids, so it's always I'll check in every few months, and then it's some movie I would have never watched.
Yeah, it's more movies than shows, right?
Movies, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, movies.
Like Stuber and shit. Shit's just so funny.
The fuck is Stuber?
It's like, did you know the Avenger movies and stuff?
Yes.
Toward the end of them, this new character came in and he got super famous. The actor, he was he kind of like stone. Like his skin was pretty much stone, super strong, super dumb, super funny.
Yeah.
And then the actor became hella popular, and he's in it. And he's not necessarily dumb, but he's just hardcore, huge cop dude. And he ends up his car gets fucked up, so he jumps into this Uber, and shit goes down right then. So the Uber driver gets stuck with him throughout the whole movie, and they're just polar opposites.
That's
the Uber driver's
great.
and he's like, nah! And it's just pretty fucking funny.
Reminds me of what's the red guy?
The red guy. Red guy. Hellboy?
No, he's the new one. He's the funny one.
New.
He's the red funny guy in the suit. He has
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Thank you.
Yeah.
He has a relationship with this cab driver. It's pretty great.
That's true. It's the same cab driver.
Oh, is it the same
think it
cab
is.
driver? Yes. All right, they win. That's good. That's fine. I think I know who you're talking about. Maybe not.
No,
well,
it's
Deadpool,
not.
there is a dumb rock
not.
guy. Well, he's not dumb. He's actually kind of smart, I think.
Deadpool?
I don't know. But
yeah, it's the
he
same
has the relationship
character
with the
thing.
cab driver.
Much more humor.
Yeah.
That guy was kind of funny. He had a pretty good.
He was. I think I liked that little scene.
He was pretty fucking funny.
And I think he left like his guns in the car. And
we gotta leave now, or some shit like that. He's like Russian.
Yeah, I'm actually not a big fan of those Avenger movies though.
I hate the Avenger movies. I love the X-Men movies. I'll watch them all day.
Cool. Okay, I'll fuck with an X-Men movie. I love
X-Men movies. Yeah.
That's funny.
But the Avenger movies, and there's something to that, in my opinion. I read an article and it really formulated like it gave a foundation for these like opinions I was having for a few years watching those get unfoundly popular.
Yeah.
Just fucking cult movies for no reason.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, we've been through the Afghanistan war, the Iran war, we just got out of the Cold War, and like we're fucking around in Malaysia and Bahrain and built up Singapore, all this stupid shit where we're like Avengers, you know?
Yeah.
And then all these movies come out built on comics. The comics were made in the 60s, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, the Cold War, the British I guess that is the Cold War, Britain being involved in India and then bleeding into Afghan. I don't know.
I'm not quite sure. I don't know.
But
I know mostly the Cold War is just America and Russia,
1900s.
but it's probably much deeper than that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I wish. God, the Cold War is disgusting, dude. Fucking 100-year-long war, you know? Like, in the shadows. The Iron Curtain, the Berlin Wall.
Okay.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But, like, the Cold War officially ended in 88, I think. Officially. What was I talking about? The Avenger movies. I think it's like the subconscious hack-in that the producers are doing where we're all these lazy fucks that want to feel like a Marine, no matter how we think of them. We want to feel that power and that ability to like protect yourself or your family or your nation, you know? If you love trees, you want to protect them. You want to be that Avenger, that protector. And it's just like hacking in, and we go and watch this movie and we get to like sign out and watch us, you know, save the world, like Saving Private Ryan and like all of these war movies. They come out in these times, like Apocalypse. No, that's this new movie. Yeah, I think it's Apocalypto. I'll have to look it up. It's a war movie from the 80s or the 70s, and it's fucking dope. It's on Amazon Prime. Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
In 79, American epic war film directed, produced, and co-written by Francis Ford Coppola. I think he did a lot of, like, westerns. The screenplay co-written by Coppola. The setting was changed from the late 19th century Congo to the Vietnam War, because it was like 79. The film follows a river journey from South Vietnam into Colombia, undertaken by Captain Benjamin L. Willard, based on Conrad's Marlowe and played by Sheen. Was that Charlie Sheen?
I bet, dude. Charlie Sheen used to be
it's like one of my favorite movies.
Charlie Sheen used to be a kick-ass fucking actor before he went to the comedy. But even during his comedy days, like in MLB. Oh, man. No, is it Major League? You ever seen Major League? Oh.
No, I don't think I have.
It's hilarious, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, he's not in it. I don't know who the Sheen guy is.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
Marlon Brando is the... No. Marlon Brando's the bad guy. Robert Duvall, no. Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe a little before our time?
I think so.
Sheen?
Yeah.
The Sheenster.
Who is on a secret mission to assassinate Colonel Kurtz. Brando, that guy that I just pulled up, a renegade Army Special Forces officer. And this officer is like not brainwashing, but he like just left the military. And it's like a super slow film. It's not, I don't even think there's many war scenes in it.
Yeah.
It's like the guy, it's like a diary like thing where he's speaking out of his diary as he's writing it.
Cool.
And he's
sometimes more entertaining.
Yeah, and he used to be like best buds with the guy that has gone AWOL somewhere in the jungle, and then he gets there and he has like this whole forest of people that like he's like god to and shit, and he's there to like assassinate him, and it's like a top secret mission. So cool.
Fuck yeah.
It's really it's a psychological film.
Yeah, I mean, I think war movies, I mean, being a history teacher, war movies are sometimes one of my best friends. I mean, you gotta make sure, you know, you're picking good ones and, you know, make sure you dissect them in certain ways that, you know, you're focusing on the right aspects. But, yeah, there's been some good war movies out there. That,
I agree.
Especially, like, you know, if you're trying to just show one aspect of war, like, trench warfare gets depicted really fucking well in movies. That makes it kind of, it's nice, you know, and the students get a little more entertained, a little more in it. And it's a little
There's
bit
a couple. Have you seen 1917?
Not yet.
You should show that to your. Watch it, review it, look into it, and then see if it's good for your students. I think.
Yeah, it will.
It's a total trench movie, and if they did their research, then it is extremely beautiful. The way you get to, like the Avengers, you sign out. But with like a movie like 1917 or Saving Private Ryan, you can't sign out. Like Saving Private Ryan, I feel like it's a true story. But if it wasn't, it would be for you to like do that, and I'm sure people do use it for that in a huge amount. But when I watched 1917, it reminded me of Saving Private Ryan. Yeah. And I'm terrified. Like I'm fucking worried. I'm curious. I'm like. I'm wondering what's around the next. I feel like this person has, like I feel like it's not just a movie. It's like an actual mission, a dialogue.
Yeah.
And then you see them go through it, and you don't get that in the Avengers.
I don't know if you can compare the two. I know what you're trying to say as far as there's a possible deeper meaning.
No, I'm saying if you watch Avengers and then you watch 1917, you could not possibly say that you could even bring the same people to watch the movie. Like
you can because both could be a good movie.
You could, of course.
There's too many people love Avengers, man.
That's my point. There's a reason. There is a reason. It's because they took away the gross reality of what that would actually be. That's just a whole white savior came into the West.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and that's probably why too.
But and they say
the grandpa brings the son, that brings the son, that brings the sister. You know, because like the grandpa would be the guy buying the comic books for his son when they were coming out. Now he has a granddaughter or grandson, and his grandson's watching Star Wars, has Avengers toys, has seen the first Avenger movie, and your son grew up on the comic books. That's a huge following, but I think there could possibly be like a subconscious reason why people choose to just go love them.
I think people love action, dude.
Yeah.
I think they love to see boom, pow, pop, boom, pop, beep.
What is the Tom Hanks?
They start applauding. Everyone, when people applaud in movie theaters, get me the fuck out of there right now. Like I've very rarely, like, and especially they're not even applauding about the movie. They're applauding about like a situation that happened in the movie. No, like what the fuck? Like all of a sudden they defeat like Thanos and the whole theater is it's like I get it though. It's like fake wrestling. People buy into it. They suspend their disbelief. I am not good at suspending disbelief. That's one thing I think I just suck at, is I'm not good at being like, you know, I'm not, like, I just don't buy into some shit. Like in Black Panther, I had a real issue because I supported the enemy the entire time. And I was like, this guy has a lot of good points right now. Like, I don't understand. Like, you guys should hear him out maybe. Like, they had this crazy new weapon, and, they were this weapon, or like this power or whatever, and they could infinitely supply the world with power, and they didn't want to get out because they were afraid people would make weapons with it. And the bad guys like I get that, like, people can make weapons, but there's a lot of good that can come from it too, and I think we should share it with the world. And they're like, no, dude, Avenger Force, attack. And it's like, wait, no, this guy has a good point. And then all of a sudden he becomes a villain or something.
The Black Panther movie?
Yeah. I just thought the villain had a lot of good points.
I was a little confused. I was like, he might be, is this Elon Musk? What's going on? What are they talking about?
Elon Musk should have so done a cameo in that fucking movie. Fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson does cameos and shit all the time.
He does not.
Neil deGrasse Tyson does cameos in so much shit.
What's a cameo?
A cameo is when he appears in a movie for like what, 20 seconds maybe?
That's so cool.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is
I'll have to
in
watch
so
a
many
compilation.
movies. You could easily find it. He's even, I think, in like Zoolander
What?
2.
No way.
Yeah. Like he's in so much
He's one of my
shit.
favorites, dude. Neil deGrasse
Look up,
Tyson.
yeah. I could see if I can.
Did
pull
I
it
get
up.
you to start saying Neil deGrasse, or did you say
No,
Neil deGrasse?
it's Neil deGrasse.
Okay.
It's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson compilation cameos. Cameo compilation.
It's gonna be easy. It's an easy find.
Batman.
Yes. Hold on, let me. I'll pull it up on here.
Yeah.
You know,
I just watch his like Star Talk stuff. When he came on there's one Joe Rogan one I haven't seen yet. 3 years ago, he's wearing a damn cowboy hat or something, a fedora.
Nice.
Yeah, just a bunch of Thug Life ones that actually, with what the words I put. Cameo combo, blah blah blah.
Oh, well, we gotta watch these at some point anyways, but it's like Neil deGrasse Tyson, top 5 thug moments.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
that was
any
the
of
first
these.
search. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where to get any of the rest of these, any of his cameos, but he's out there. He has tons of cameos. I typed in compilation. Maybe let's type in cameo.
That's what I put. I put cameo compilation.
Yeah.
But I got the same results.
Yeah, he's in Big Bang Theory. He's in, I don't know, he's in a few
I
things.
see that. Watch
But
about half of
yeah,
Big Bang
Batman
Theory with
vs
my family.
Superman, maybe. No, just on Batman vs Superman. I don't know.
Okay.
He's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine at some point.
I need to watch that. I haven't seen it.
It's
Sounds
funny.
pretty funny.
It's a good show. It's
Yeah.
good. I kind of I didn't finish it all the way through, but I will die by the flag of Letterkenny.
I will too. I will too.
I
Better let that
found
marinate.
that show. I found that show not too long ago.
No,
Probably
yeah, I
2
guess a year.
months. For me, it was
Yeah.
like 2-3 months
I
ago.
gave it a break.
And
I was like, okay, Letterkenny. I gave it a break because Hulu, you watch 10 minutes of Letterkenny, if that, and then you have a commercial.
I have the ad-free one,
Man.
which is the
I
most
get it through my Sprint.
privileged
So.
thing ever.
Oh man.
You can't do
They
I
just
fuck commercials. I
drown you
can't
with
do the
commercials.
commercials.
They drown.
It's the same as
you.
TV. What at that point? What are you paying?
What, exactly.
What are you paying for, huh?
Exactly.
If you're gonna
Like
make us-
yes, you're cheaper. I'm not paying $80 for you. Well, fuck you. You don't
No
have all
one
that.
pays
You don't have all those
$80.
channels. You don't have the infrastructure. You don't have
Yeah.
the vans. You don't have all that shit.
Yeah.
That's why they get you. That's why they're able to do that. The streaming service is supposed to be like nothing except for what it needs to be.
Yeah.
And now they're like,
Supposed
oh,
to be
commercials,
stripped down.
commercials, and you pay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. That's
Okay.
nice.
And they're just
Yeah.
okay.
Let's take that.
So stupid.
Yeah. But I will say that not having commercials is amazing. But again, I don't pay for it.
I don't have commercials on all my other streaming services. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't, because fuck
Oh, yeah,
that
I don't-
shit.
oh,
God
yeah,
damn
I
it, Hulu. God damn it. You know, if you offered us a sponsorship, we'd think twice before we took it.
We would. Looking right at you, Hulu.
Yeah, right at you.
Roku, on the other hand. Hey, Roku.
Yeah, what's up, Roku?
I feel like they named Roku after Avatar.
Which one? Which
They're-
aspect of it?
So the Avatar. I
Let's
forgot
clarify
the young
which
kid's
Avatar
name.
you're talking about.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Not the
Avatar,
people.
the Last Airbender.
Yeah, not the Native American
No.
reference.
No,
No,
the
which-
Asiatic
Yeah, the
uh,
Avatar.
Opium trade version.
Yeah, there you go. Too funny.
I love the fucking show so much. I
Yeah,
always have.
a lot of people do actually.
I would watch
It's
that shit
cool.
before school. All that. It's like a cult classic too.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
At least for our generation.
I was watching it, and I'm in chapter 3, and there's the lifeline of avatars previous to Jang. I don't know what I forgot his name.
Aang?
Aang.
The Avatar?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
young Avatar, the
Yeah.
newest,
Yeah,
the
Aang.
newest
The
reincarnation.
movie fucking called him Ong, and everyone. It
Really?
was one of the worst movies in the world. I couldn't even
I didn't
finish
watch
it.
no Avatar movie.
Yeah, don't. It's Aang. Okay.
Fuck you. Oh man.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
Aang.
It's one of the dumbest things ever.
What was it? So there's like this main ancestral avatar
Yeah.
that he speaks with like all the time, and his name is Roku.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's like a little bit it, just because of how like there's Avatar, there's Aang, There's Katana. There's her brother. And then there's the girl they found. I forgot her name. That
the blind girl?
Yeah, has the earth bending. And...
I forgot her name too. She's cool though. Sokka.
Sokka. Sokka. Yes. And then the 3 girls he's with, including his sister. Those are like the characters, the uncle, you know, you get all these people.
Appa.
But with Appa. But with Momo. But with with Aang, you have Roku. Like if you take away Roku, Aang loses like over a third of his training throughout the show.
Yeah.
At least half. He checks in with Roku like all the fucking time. Yeah. Especially starting book 2, like the beginning of book 2 to the end. And then Roku, beginning of book 2 to the end, it's just like more and more Roku. Yeah. He becomes like a main fucking character. Like when I said this morning, it looks like Aang was taking a shit, but he was on a dragon. He was with Roku, and that was when he was in the spirit world. Roku was taking him through his past and how the Fire King, his best friend before he became the Avatar, like Roku was a firebender before he became the Avatar. And then like fucking, he's on the dragon, he's fighting this volcano, and like that's when he died. And his best friend, the Fire King, whatever, left him there. He showed up to help him when he realized he could leave him there to die. He did, because he had stopped his plane, beat the shit out of him in the past. And was like, I'll let you live. Roku was like, I'll let you live because you're my best friend, but if you ever step out of line. And then it was like 40 years that goes by, and that's like chapter 3 or book 3, like chapter like 4 or 5. And there's only like 18, I think, chapters in book 3. So that's like it right at the end. And that's when I realized last night. I looked down at the Roku and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm seeing a possible connection. But the question is, what does Roku mean? Probably stands for something.
Yeah, in like etymology.
You know?
I don't know.
Because if it's used in both kind of, maybe, let's see, definition of R-O-K-U.
Roku-san.
What does Roku stand for? It means 6 in Japanese, a reference to the 6 companies Wood has launched.
Let me tell you something right now. Which which avatar was Roku?
That's fucking great. Yeah, watch. It better be if he's not the 6th one. Roku is a Fire Nation born avatar immediately succeeding the avatar Kyoshi and preceding the avatar Aang. Roku's memory served as a guiding force for Aang throughout his quest to end the 100-Year War.
That's a good point too. Like that, since that guy killed him, it began like the 100-Year War, and Aang was they had to hide Aang because that guy went and wiped out the Air Nation because they knew that was where the next Avatar was going to be from.
Doesn't say if he was.
No, it doesn't. How many avatars were there, I suppose?
Lineage of avatars. What are all the avatars in their order? Korra, no. More items. Here we go. Oh, there's a whole fandom website. Perfect. Thank you, fandom. Something I've never attempted to even try to appreciate.
My little sister loves it.
One was the first avatar. Salai, S-A-L-A-I. Salai. Second one, Young Chen's predecessor, Young Chen. Karuk, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn, it's not even the 6th. I don't know. Roku doesn't look like he's the 6th.
Who's the 6th?
Maybe they skip one, maybe they don't count one. It looks like Karuk. No, it looks like Kyoshi of the Earth Kingdom.
Was that a girl?
Let's look up Roku. I don't know. This article is about the character for the episode with a similar name, known as Solstice. Roku was the Fire Nation born avatar immediately succeeding Avatar Kyoshi and preceding Avatar Aang, God. Roku's memory served as a guiding force. This old. It doesn't say which one he was, which is silly. You would think they'd just give you some good numbers or some shit. But whatever, I'm not gonna get too tied up on it.
No, I'm
kind of high, huh? I'm just like all into this fucking Roku guy. There he is. He looks
exactly.
Like
I know. I got intense. I was like, oh yeah, no. In Airbender, this happens. When Roku comes in. When
so
Roku
funny.
comes in.
Oh, God. I had one of our jalapenos from the garden and
Really?
barbecued it up. It was
Cool.
really good. It was really good. Yeah, I feel like I'm ready to, like, I find fruit in there. I wanted to start, like, those strawberries, I think
Start
they're
eating
ready.
them. Yeah, we've lost a few already. You could definitely eat them if you see them.
God, this thing's getting clogged. Do we have, like, a toothpick or something?
Yeah, my jar I have like
We got a little.
Oh,
thing.
actually.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I knew we had something out there. Better to use plastic or wood on the bowl piece instead of the fucking metal.
Yeah.
So I broke the last one.
Oh, really? With the...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'll break it
poked
because
at
I'll use like a hard surface and do...
Oh yeah, that's your. I don't do that. It's brave.
What do you know about the Whig Party?
I know. I used to know more. I don't know much, but I know why people back in the day used to wear wigs, because mainly because they had syphilis.
Oh God.
Yeah, and their hair would fall out, and their skin would start to get holes, and so they would start investing in wigs, and they were called big wigs, and like it was like celebrated the bigger wig you had, but it was just syphilis, and they didn't have a cure for it. Yeah, and then they gave it to Native Americans, of course, and that fucked them up. But yeah, no, that's kind of how wigs started to really become popular, and then people who didn't have syphilis started wearing them too. But it started out as like a cover your shit. God damn it. I was on a Guitar Center, and I put 2 items in my shopping cart, and those 2 items are now the ad on, like, just straight up, 2 items in my shopping cart were just my ad on the fucking website, on a different website.
I'm confused.
So on one
It's an
website,
ad?
I put 2 items in my shopping cart.
Uh-huh.
It was a guitar stool and a hat. And then on this fandom website, I got advertised that exact same
shit.
guitar stool and that exact same hat.
Jesus Christ.
They're not happy with me just keeping it in my shopping cart.
No, they're like, whoa, bud, how long? How long? We can send you a loan.
Yeah. Right? They're like, why are you stressing? What's going on? What's happening?
You got a cosign?
Dude, dude, pay for it later.
Later. It's all about later.
Man.
When the river flows down, it ends up elsewhere.
Dude, trickle down, man.
Trickle down.
Just trickle it, bro. That's fucking fun.
I wonder if the Wink Party was built after that. 'Cause this is WHIG.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're different.
Okay.
But
It would have been later. Colonialism.
I'm honestly not
Imperial
too sure.
Those wigs.
Uh,
I don't think the wigs made it to the U.S. Did they? Like.
I think
Oh,
so.
they.
I think they were a U.S. political party.
No, I don't. I meant the big wig thing. But absolutely.
I think it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's just look up the Whig Party.
Yeah, I think it. I was looking. It was 1830 to.
Yeah, here we go. I remember learning about this a wee bit.
What?
In one of my educational classes. Whig Party was a political party formed in 1834 by opponents of President Andrew Jackson and his Jacksonian Democrats, led by Henry Clay. The name Whigs was derived from the English anti-monarchist party and was an attempt to portray Jackson as King Andrew. So yeah, it's portraying like King Andrew's old Whig. The Whigs were one of the 2 major political parties in the United States from the 1930s.
Cool.
So yeah, it's in reference
They
to
opposed
him being
Andrew
king.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Sick as
they
fuck.
thought he was a
Because he
tyrant.
was trying to. He like started all the World Bank shit. Well, his vice president became president after him, and by the time he was voted out, they were fighting against the it was like 40 years after the starting of the World Bank.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 presidents, 8, 16, 24. He might have not been directly connected. He was like 20 years after.
Yeah. So this brings up something sad that I learned in my book. So Andrew Jackson was part of the Choctaws removal of the Native Americans and their journey to where'd they go? To Indian Territory. They just call it Indian Territory. But the fucked up thing is, so they pretty much send them to this land and they say, hey, we're gonna give you like you don't need to hunt. You're gonna farm. We're gonna give you rations, and you're gonna be fine. And then they often just forgot about the rations. So like they would say, yeah, you're gonna get all this food, and then all of a sudden they would just forget, and then these Native Americans would fucking starve and have to eat their horses and have to eat other shit that they weren't in little fucking animals that they could catch. But they're often just forgotten about in these fucking treaties and shit. And the Native American agencies were just god awful and selfish and practically robbers back in the day. Like they had no interest in like helping the Native Americans. It was all just what can we take and what can we get out of this, essentially. And I imagine they're not too far evolved.
It's a bad look.
Probably it's under a new name, but I don't think it's too far evolved.
I understand. It's like, I don't know. I have faith in that having diminished a lot and been replaced with the idea of how much land can we reclaim and what's the best way to do that.
Say that again?
Funny Native American joke is, my favorite white wine is I want a casino.
Wait, I don't get it.
My favorite white wine is I want a casino.
Yeah, is that like a pun on the word wine?
Yeah.
Got it.
Because white people whine about not getting casinos. Yeah. But that's how they're like there's families with family tribes and reservations with a huge amount of like stored money to like purchase land, and like the legal battles is what it's about. They're not purchasing land, but they're going through the 30-year legal battle with the state of Oklahoma, and they have to like fund that. Mm-hmm. And teach, and maybe they're like, it is someone close in the tribe that is their lawyer, but that's also, what would that be? Equity, he's been to school and he's trained me as his bar and all that, mm-hmm. and he's not white, that's huge, stuff like that. That's fucking, that's a daily battle, certain.
Well,
but corruption, I'm sure it's there.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I mean, we were at war with the Native Americans for 40 years, like if not longer, as far as like America goes and like the West. And seriously, like it's fucked up. Like the Native Americans pretty much just said, like at a certain point, take us to the land so like we can die. Like they were just sad and they were like grieving, and it's gnarly. Native, or at least the Comanches back in the day, how they would grieve was they would like cut themselves. Which, like, I don't know how, like, if that has any kind of root to, like, today and whatnot. But, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe. It depends on why they did it then.
Well, they just did it because they were grieving. And they were, when people, like, would die in their tribe and they would grieve, or they were just, at this point of ultimate sadness for whatever reason, they would just cut themselves. It would be, like, their breasts. They would cut their arms, their legs. And it was how they would deal with, like, this emotional sadness. And maybe who knows? Maybe it's just a human instinct.
That's what the connection would be, is human instinct.
Yeah. Maybe it's you want to just feel pain because you think because you deserve to feel pain. That's mm-hmm. what you should be feeling, in a way. I think there's a strong connection between how people want to feel and the things they do to feel those things.
Absolutely. That's like the peacocking that I was talking about. It's not about mating. It's about humans. Mm-hmm. It's about animals.
Yeah.
It's about humans. Because animals, it's about mating. But when you're human, that goes away. Because, like, I mean, with the virus, sure, I've had sex, but, like, it's not like you and I are having people here to, like, mate. Like, you, like, oh, I need to have sex, and I need... I'm gonna have a kid. I'm setting myself to have a fucking kid, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's in me. That's what's fucking happening. Like, that's not true.
Yeah.
So that's clear. That's obvious. But what we still do need is the feeling of that, like the feeling our mom taught us, the feeling our dads taught us, the feeling our teachers taught us, that love, that light, that energy, that sharing, that movement. That is the peacock dance in humans. We're not trying to have sex anymore, but we're trying to be humans, ourselves. Like, look at my shirt, you know, like we're birds. We're still birds. It's still there. I love it. I love it a lot.
Me too.
Yeah.
I recently I recently cuddled with a girl. I just cuddled.
Me too.
It was only cuddling.
We made out for a bit, but yeah.
So me and this girl, cuddled. Only cuddled.
I'll leave it alone then. Yes, please tell me the story.
And it was cute. Yeah, it was cute. Awesome. And it was nice, and it was good to be held, and it was good to hold someone.
It was good to hold. Yeah.
And you know, I haven't done that in a while. And I was like, oh, this felt like super nice. So, yeah, I get what, like, you know, I get what you mean. There's human things that we learned when we were kids, and that just animalistically, humanly, that we still want and need. Although, yeah, I don't think mating is necessarily top of that list anymore, like animals is.
No, what mating has turned into is just this life. Just life. Like, anti-monogamy. Like, yes, I'm not gonna be with like multiple people at the same time, but the first person I'm with ain't the last one.
Yeah.
And we all know that.
Well, the question
is,
a
new world.
How much does monogamy make sense in a world with birth control? Like,
world with birth control and mass
new.
Consumption and possible equity.
It's
and
so new.
A vast, potential force of economy. Like, we were in a time, man.
Like,
before it gets pretty, it's gonna get ugly. We're in a time.
I wonder when did birth control first come out in any
I bet it's
kind
like
of
60
way?
years old.
What do you think?
Any kind of way?
Yeah.
The first condoms, would that count?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, I bet they were making them out of cow skin in like 1850.
No, I don't think I don't know. Yeah, they understood it. Yeah, maybe.
Well, cow skin would work.
Oh, anything would work.
I think a bladder would work.
You could just fucking give them a little rub over the jeans and it works. First ever.
I have a skit we could do. What's in Zach's bag? I went to the dollar store.
Yes.
I got a vast majority of random shit.
That's so fucking great. That can't be. No. I don't want the pill. It's so funny when you have birth control, the only thing that really pops up is the pill, which is so new.
I think there's a difference in the definitions, like birth.
What would I type in instead? First historical
contraceptive
record of
contraceptive.
All right. Oh, here we go. Possibly. No. Okay. Are we getting birth control history? Cool. Alright, we're here. Although the birth control pill and other hormonal contraceptive devices are modern inventions, birth control has been around for thousands of years. The earliest known recordings of birth control methods date back to ancient Mesopotamia around 1850 BC. The ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans all had various forms of birth control. Thankfully, today, modern women have a chance to take advantage of safer, Alright, well, come on. The earliest forms of birth control, as well as abortion, were found in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. I keep wanting to make, like, a bad joke, but I won't. As far back as 1850 BC, papyrus scrolls were found to contain directions on how to make birth control using honey, acacia leaves, and also lint as a form of cervical cap to prevent sperm from entering the womb. Interesting. So they put lint in their pussies and fuck them. In the Kahuna Gynecological Papyrus from 1850, it contains descriptions of pessaries of cacao gum as a contraceptive. Oh, Extended breastfeeding for up to 3 years was also used as a form of birth control in ancient Egypt. Perhaps one of the most famous ancient forms of birth control was the Siliphium plant, native to North Africa. The plant was used as a contraceptive and was incredibly popular in ancient Greece and Rome. The plant could only be grown in a small area of what is now modern-day Libya. Overcultivation of the plant led to its eventual extinction. In ancient Greece, many plants were used for birth control, including Asafoetida, a close cousin of the extinct Silphium. Queen Anne's lace was another popular contraceptive plant in India. So, what is it? But what do you do with the plant? You eat it?
I know. I'm looking up the definition of contraceptive.
Yes, many ancient forms of birth control would have been quite toxic, potentially dangerous, not to mention ineffective. Okay, cool. Pregnancy and childbirth alone killed millions of women in antiquity without modern medical interventions. In ancient Greece, women were advised to drink copper salt dissolved in water as a way to prevent pregnancy for up to 1 year. Copper salt is toxic, I assumed. Yeah.
I guess there isn't really a different definition.
Guess how... This is... What do you think the highest birth rate... Hold on.
Male condom, also called rubber.
Yeah.
Or Jimmy.
So, apparently at one time, the U.S. held the highest birth rate in the world.
That makes sense.
The average woman in the U.S. in 1800s
No, it doesn't.
have given birth to how many children, do you think? The average woman in 1800s in the U.S. gave birth to how many children? It does make sense, though, because if we don't count any of the Native Americans, or if you do count the Native... No, probably don't.
Well, what I was thinking is, as countries go lower on the scale of, like, third world, first world, second world, or whatever, third world has the highest pregnancy rates, and then a first world country would have the lowest pregnancy rates. So in my head, I was like, oh, America, when prosperous country, 1800s? No.
Yeah, not prosperous at all.
No.
Well, like,
Sorry, folks.
We're expanding.
It's a hard time.
It's a really hard
Industrial Revolution.
No Industrial Revolution.
1800s?
Not,
oh, okay.
not
I thought
quite.
That was beginning.
I think not quite. 1800s. It was happening in England.
Okay.
I think, but not in the U.S.
Okay.
In the U.S., it was all pretty much agrarian.
Okay, agrarian.
So, how many kids do you think the average woman in 1800 had? Yeah, 8. Nailed it.
Holy shit.
8. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, because what
a
do
guess.
you do?
How'd you guess?
Thank
8?
you.
You just figured that's the farm hands you need.
How to take 3 days and a lunch.
Yeah, I need fucking 8. You and the women of 1800 think a lot alike, Zach. A lot alike. Or the men of 1800.
No, or the men of 1800. How many kids we go about this one?
We need 8.
Not to mention the 2 I had with Barbara.
You're gonna have them 6 months apart, which don't make sense, but you're gonna do it.
On good diet. We're gonna beat you on the oats and the milks.
Baby, take 1 year on, 2 years. No, 1 year on, 6 months off. 1 year on, 6 months off. Every year for 8 years.
Jesus, you think they're probably having early pregnancies too?
Oh yeah, I imagine that.
It's my medical brain that does that. Died. You think of like the lack of availability, the lack of equity. I've worked with the kids that like were misplaced in the Dominican Republic for like a week, getting their teeth cleaned with them, and that was like specifically with the orphanage. Other than that, it was the 2 months and 2 weeks at the schools, which were botellas, low income villages, like slums. It's the slums of it's the Spanish word for slums and the Dominican word for slums. Like favela in Brazil. And yeah, they can't not have kids. Like if you're not gonna have a kid, you don't know a fucking dude. Like you just don't. It takes a certain amount of equity to have that decision, to be able to have condoms with you, to be able to. In the Dominican Republic, the potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure if you're in a great city, Santo Domingo, if you're like in a an up-and-coming or tourist destination, yeah, you're going to get your hands on some pills, some condoms, and
if you're looking for it.
And there are clinics in a lot of the villages, especially the village, like the two villages. Out of the two villages I was in, one of them had a clinic.
Yeah.
And you could get contraception there, but it's not. It's free, so it's limited.
Yeah.
I went to go get my parasite
free
medication
doesn't necessarily
and they
mean
did
limited,
charge me.
but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, they don't. I think they offer them free at a lot of clinics, and I don't think they run out normally. But you know, condoms are important, really important.
Condoms, but also once you are pregnant.
Yeah,
Because I have
that's you need
condoms, I
it.
could get someone pregnant. I didn't. But I've
If you
had to
wear
go get the
them,
Plan
the
B.
odds are pretty good. You won't.
You ever had
if you do it right, but
shit
it could
broke
break.
on me
Well, that's
once.
different. That's a different story.
It is. It's a Plan B story. You go get Plan B. But
Yeah.
It happens. It could happen for
It
sure.
could definitely happen.
To anybody in the lower amount of
Unless
money
you
put
got
into the condom.
and that's why you always buy a size up, man. That's why
Don't have a
I
huge
just
dick.
buy
I'm telling you, I don't have
I just
a huge
buy
dick.
socks.
Socks.
I just buy a
A
good
nice
sock.
thin sock.
Oh well, no.
No.
Cushion for the pushing.
Okay.
You know, I buy a nice
No,
fuzzy.
about the feel.
I buy a
About the
fuzzy.
feel. I'm not going in there for a while.
I offer a grandma service where I'll take
Yeah,
it. I'll wrap a
a
dust
grandma
buster.
service.
I'll wrap a dust buster around my penis and I'll clean it up for you. I'll get the corners. I'll get it all good.
It's so good. Fantastic.
No, when I stayed at my buddy's house the other night when I was in Sacramento, and he had a fucking duster on the wall, and I was like, dude, my grandma has the same dildo. Just fucking love it.
That's a pretty great.
But yeah, no, birth control's new. It's changing the game. I think in 100 years it's gonna be like there's gonna be a certain amount of birth control where it's gonna be like you either want a kid or you don't, and maybe it's like a little switch, a little app. It's an app on just a little device, and the little mechanical door just closes and says no sperm, no sperm for you.
You could already get your tubes tied and then untie them.
Yeah,
How
that's
I changed my mind.
that's a damn Boy Scout trick right there. I'll tell you. And so that's called a slip knot.
I don't think it's so good.
You can just slide it on out. You just pull it through, and it's like, it's never even tied. You're like, whoa, magic.
It's like
dude. Can you imagine
put a
floating
Phillips
to
head in there
magic?
and loosen up a fucking pipe fitting. Or something.
There's some gnarly versions. Have you ever seen Bubble Magic?
No.
Oh my god.
No, Bubble Magic?
This shit will blow your mind.
No.
It will blow your mind. I don't know if it's worth putting on the computer right now, but I'll show you later. But this guy can make incredible fucking structures with bubbles and just
Really?
do incredible things, and he can make them like spin and move, and like I think he has like a fucking Ferris wheel of bubbles or some shit, and it's all bubbles. But that's a big fish story. I exaggerated, but I drew you in. That's good.
No,
but he does some crazy things slightly below that, and it's incredible. It really it blows my mind. Maybe I will blow it up after I do some
Blow it up.
some smoke magic here.
Blow up the greens.
Blow up the greens.
Smoking on that Abraham. Smoking on that Kush.
We've been writing. You wrote a song. You wrote a song for
I did
us.
write a song.
I wanna read it again, and I wanna see if I can get some guitar to it.
Yeah, I'll rewrite it to make sure that it's like in a good. It's gone too, maybe.
No.
It was here last morning.
No Santa Fe.
It was Santa Fe too. I was reading.
Santa Fe.
I did read that the Santa Fe Tobacco Company owns American Spirit recently.
Oh yeah, well we got some fun research in that.
Yeah.
What was the guy's name that did the artwork? Do you remember that? Like Steve Nash, but not. I'll look it up.
Something Nast.
Nast, thank you.
Martin. No,
Jack?
something Nast. Yeah.
Jack Nast?
Jack Nast.
Sounds about right. But
Research.
being into kind of the Native Americans, as I am right now, a little bit. Yeah, I looked up the Native American Spirit tobacco, and I'm gonna top her off, which has been a new bad habit I've picked up. But hey,
Thomas Nast.
Thomas Nast, big old Tommy Nast. He's not a bad guy, as of right now. He's just done a lot of artwork and logos. He did the modern day Santa Claus. Shout out to that fucking big boy.
He did a shit ton of like newspaper
comics. I started out with the lighthearted
about the war, about all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, but then he did do more serious shit, and it was good. And it's tough to watch, you know. So that's what good art is, right? It's kind of tough to look at, but he's depicting things that really happened, and I think that's important.
Exactly.
And there is a difference, as I have had conversations with people, between history that talks about bad people and fucking statues that fucking commemorate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a silly connection.
I've had people say when I support the taking down of these statues, like Sutter Hospital, they're going to take down the statue of John Sutter because he raped and killed and enslaved like over 1,200 Native Americans. And so they're going to take down a statue. And, I would say some people were kind of like, fuck that a little bit. Like, why? And they're like, what, do you want to, like, get rid of history? And I was like, no, but I don't want to, and he's like, do you want to, like, get rid of books and shit? And it was just, it was an old people argument, more or less. But it was just like, no, but we don't need to like sit here and celebrate it.
Yeah, and those people, not those people, but like, how much information are you taking in to like not ignore history in the first place? How easy do you want it to be to like not know history? Because that's what you're doing when you walk up to the statue and there's a plaque of information about this person and the highest regard you could possibly imagine. And that's all you care about it. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you leave and you don't look into that, all you just went to was a commemorative statue, a fucking emblem. Like, there's so many words, like a memorial, not history. Even where the conversation, in my opinion, could lead to, even in my mind, is like...
It was a good conversation, by the way, which is really nice. It was like an open conversation between me and the older generation.
So
and
hard to do.
Yeah, and I was really happy with the outcome. We hugged it out.
So hard to do.
Solid. Made me happy.
The Abraham statue. Abraham Lincoln boy.
Yeah.
Over in Washington. What do we do with that? I say we take it down. Yes, and like with Sutter being named Sutter.
Lincoln had slavers?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he had like close to 300 slaves.
Forgot about that.
Slavers?
Forget about that. Lincoln.
And then his teeth were like
Lincoln was half black?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, he was.
He was I did know he was a dark fucking fellow.
Yeah,
but I thought he was just married.
One of my students taught me that.
I almost was gross with like brain hacking. Said I thought he was just American. I thought he was like maybe German, maybe Italian. No, I didn't think he was black or Spanish.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading about Lincoln. So Lincoln, top 5 things about Lincoln or some shit. Lincoln wasn't an abolitionist. This is on history.com.
Like the History Channel.
Yeah, kind of.
That's owned by Disney.
Well, I don't know if it's it's history.com.
Okay.
I don't think it's the History Channel.
It would have the emblem, yeah.
But
it is a .com though, so it's not a.
Yeah, it's pretty decent though. Okay. It's not. It's pretty decent.
Cool.
So Lincoln wasn't an abolitionist, which is true. He didn't believe slavery was morally wrong.
That right there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lincoln presented more clearly than ever his moral, legal, and economic opposition to slavery. and admitted he didn't know exactly what should be done about it within the current political system. But
which is a good point.
Yeah.
You can't destroy the world, but you kind of have to.
No, it was worth the revolution. It was
Big
worth
time.
the civil. Which
That dude,
bloodiest war in America.
That this was the guy that founded Santa Fe was a Confederate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the company.
No.
Oh, got it.
The guy that founded the company that bought it, like J. Rowling or some shit.
Yeah.
They're Confederate Virginian company. Confederate virgins.
So apparently Lincoln argued that the Founding Fathers phrase, all men created equal, applied to black and white people alike. This, however, did not mean he thought they should have the same social and political rights, which he stated in some speech.
I have a dream.
No. That was Martin Luther King.
I'm joking.
Lincoln made his position clear when he said, I will say then that I am not, nor have ever been, in favor or about in any way the social and political equality of white and black races. Yeah, no bueno. I Have a Dream was on your birthday?
August 28th of 1965, I think.
That's when your birthday is?
My birthday's August 1999, same day.
Yeah. But apparently what he did believe is that all men had the right to improve their condition in society and enjoy the fruits of their labor. Yeah, whatever. Lincoln thought colonization could resolve the issue of slavery. The idea that majority of the African American population should leave the United States and settle in Africa or Central America was the best way to confront the problem of slavery. So he just wanted to send them away.
Which I understand the point where they moved. Like what you said, with the Indians, Native Americans agreeing to be moved to the east from the South and from the Central Americans.
Well, because there's no other choice.
Exactly, I understand. Like the grieving of it and like being bodies to carry in a way.
Yeah.
But they also built the road as they went, right? I mentioned that earlier. I think that's something I learned. Mm-hmm. They trenched and built as they went. And it was like 60,000 Native Americans. But they took them from Florida, from Georgia, from Alabama, and moved them up to like Oklahoma and like all these eastern states. And then now you go to Alabama, you go to Florida, you go to Georgia. It's white and pride as it gets, as racist as it gets, as my land as it gets. They hate California. They hate New York.
Say that again.
Like the like proud Georgians.
Okay.
Like young or old kind of middle income Georgians.
Yeah.
Like the stereotypical thought of it. And that's like their ancestral land. That's the Native American ancestral land. That's where we moved them from to Oklahoma, to move them from Oklahoma to somewhere else to death. That's fucking awful.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
One popular misconception that I learned from the book is that we took America over from east to west.
Okay.
And it's like it's a terribly like misconstrued thought, because we actually took it was like we took the east, and then we had the Oregon Trail kind of that was this little fucking trail that went straight through Comanche territory, but it was just like one little trail we could get through. So like some people made it, some people didn't, but no one camped there, we just fucking went straight through.
Okay.
And we got to California, essentially. We got to the west, and then we established there. But the Comanches held the fucking, and the Plains Indians held the fucking middle America for way fucking longer than the other two sides have been established. Okay. So it's not like we went from east to west. It was like east, then we settled in the west, and then we fucking fought and battled and essentially destroyed the Native Americans' entire source of life, which was the buffalo. And
that's clear as you go into it, where you figure out that the trench, I almost said the Marion on a trench, the Truman's March was Trail of Tears, is it the same thing? Truman's March and Trail of Tears?
I don't know. I don't know.
I might be mixing them up with the building of the road with Truman's March. But that was 1830. So that's not the beginning of the United States. That's over 60 years. It's about 60 years in the United States when we finally finished this war. Or like some looking
about 100
settlement.
years later.
70 to 30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. Wait, what?
1776, like the founding of the United States,
yeah.
like the Constitution.
So
I guess no, we were here for
what's
so much
what's
longer
in
previous to
1830?
that. 1830 was, I think, the Trail of Tears.
Oh, got it. I think that's maybe like around when it started.
Indian Removal Act, yeah.
Yeah.
Was the Indian Removal Act. Andrew Jackson was president.
Yeah, I think that's when it started.
Okay.
And then it continued on. It's not.
It builds my point.
It's
more.
mucky.
Yeah.
It's really mucky.
Okay.
Because there's no clear. We started sending them away as soon as we could. The ones that we could. The more peaceful ones, the agriculture-based ones. But what's interesting is what we did to the Native Americans as far as killing all their buffalo was exactly what Lincoln attempted to do when during the Civil War when he emancipated the slaves.
So he was trying to starve out the Confederates?
Yes. He realized also that because slaves were
their economy.
Since the Civil War, emancipation wasn't the original kind of source or whatever, but once enough slaves had run from the southern plantations to the north, Lincoln realized that it would be the weapon to starve out the South, and then to also have a new fighting force.
I've heard that
in the North.
Yeah.
And so in the same way, you kind of think they killed all the buffalo, they kind of tried to free all the workers, the slaves, and that was their system of.
Not for morals, but.
Yeah, for strictly war-winning purposes. Yeah, which is also crazy, is because the Emancipation Proclamation only really the kind of declaration that freed the slaves, as we think of it, only freed the southern slaves. It only freed the enemy slaves. It didn't free.
Didn't talk about the grandfathered in slaves that haven't bought their freedom, or
no, it didn't talk about the border slave states, the ones that didn't fight in the war. There's states that didn't go to war with the North, the Union, the actual federal government. They stayed neutral, so they weren't written into the Emancipation Proclamation, meaning they got to keep their slaves.
Jesus.
So it wasn't it just freed the enemy slaves. It didn't free our friends' slaves.
Rights itself.
Yeah. It only applied to places where the federal government had no control. The Emancipation Proclamation didn't apply to any of the northern states where the federal government was involved. Any states part of the Union, essentially, or any of the border states.
So the Union is the Federation, and the Confederacy was the
Union is
Southern
the federal,
of states.
Yeah. That we're trying to break away.
Just by the words.
They're trying to concede
conservatism, and then being there's conservative and then libertarian. I would flip them contextually if you heard them. I would say, libertarian sounds like someone that is gonna fuck me over, and then conservative sounds like my friend. But conservatives are Republicans.
If you could drop the history of the word and kind of come at it from I'm stuck on an island point of view.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I see what you mean.
I had a cousin one day who was like, "Oh yeah, no, you got that backward," because I was just using context. I was like 15.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, you sounded it out essentially.
Exactly.
Which is tough. Those words get really fucking confusing really quick, and it's kind of on purpose like that, they're not clear at all. And what's a conservative now compared to what it used to be a few years ago, and yada yada, and same with liberals and whatnot and all that. It's just so different, No one even wants to attach their name to any of them. They're so repulsive at this point. It's just like when I feel like we're ready to buy into a new fucking party whenever someone's ready to make it. You know,
funny baby.
Like I know they're more out there, and they just. I feel like they got to do some ground roots, fucking social media publicizing. Like you don't gotta be I mean, it helps to be a millionaire and billionaire, whatever the fuck money these people got, you know, and have the connections. But I feel like there is potential for a ground roots fucking, yeah, if you got the right fucking ideas. I just don't know how the system works as far as being able to actually get in and you know, how rigged is it?
It's rigged.
It's so rigged.
The electorate system is what like finalizes the vote, and that's built on the state lines representatives like areas.
Yeah.
That's redlined, which is a racial programmed term through gerrymandering, and that's a system where these like Republicans and these legislators and these statesmen literally move the borders of their representations, like where they're I don't know what it would be called, where they are, like where they have jurisdiction, where their votes count, that's what it is. Each house, what that house's vote equals to, that goes to the electorate. I think so they move the borders and cut out and cut in all of these different demographics to where they're like splotching and moving like they did to like the West Banks, like literal borders with countries, but with law and voting process. And that's like a huge system used today, big time. Legislators have to spend like, I think it's like, I don't know how many hours I was watching a Vice News documentary, and it said that like a legislator was speaking, and he said they have like these office rooms where they go and collect calls to like, hey, I'm your senator, I'm asking if you can make a contribution or if you can have time to hear about this. And they have like a budget to earn through themselves and a specific amount of hours a week they have to be doing that. It's like 15 hours a week on the phone they have to be in the office, like making these calls. So they're selling themselves as well in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
No one wants to be a telemarketer.
Yeah.
No one. So they don't.
Yeah, I could see how it'd be cool though to be called by. I think.
Have you? You know, who are they calling? Who are they calling?
But if they did, I would look them up.
I'd be doped. I'd be like,
look them up.
Cool, dude. Fuck yeah. I was getting kind of stoked up. I kept getting calls from like people from Bernie Sanders. I'd be like, yeah, I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Let's talk. I'm voting. I did vote.
Yeah. It's important. It's good.
Don't sign the draft, kids.
Yeah.
If you're under 18 and that paper's coming, don't sign it. Don't tell your parents it came. If you have that opportunity, I'm glad I did. Checking my own mail and shit.
Yeah.
Some people aren't in that situation, but do what you can. Don't join the fucking Coast Guard. My sister knows some dude in Bahrain right now through the Coast Guard. He was like on reserves, and then they called him out, and he was there for a year term, and then the COVID hit, so he got 4 months more just in this town in Bahrain working. Like he's not even like off, he's not on leave or nothing. He's like working. They just they stretched out the amount of time he'll be like active duty. So who knows what kind of situation that is. That dude's not a good guy. He's like harassing her in a way, like where like she's stupid and communicates with him, and he's taking it as like, oh, so we're gonna get married someday, right?
Yeah.
And she's not like, oh no, I actually have a boyfriend. She tells him she has a boyfriend, but continues to like communicate with this dude that has no interest in like anything. About her, just like, oh yeah, you know, when can we see each other?
I don't. But do you think that's a whole representation of everyone in the Coast Guard? Yeah.
No. I'm saying don't join the Coast Guard so you don't end up in Bahrain for a year.
Oh, well, you sign up for that credit. That's what they love.
Yeah. Do the Peace Corps. Why not the Peace Corps?
Because you can do...
Not as crazy.
We need people everywhere. I believe in a very diverse
We need less people out there. The less we have the ability to do what we're doing as a military, the less we're going to be doing it, and the more the nations can recirculate themselves. Like the way we are directly plugged into world affairs with the military, it's scary. It's scary. No one likes that.
We were talking earlier about wanting to look more inward as a country, you know? And,
what did we say? Build a mountain? Take down the borders and build a mountain.
Just have just think, look more inward. You know, look to what can the U.S. do for itself.
Yeah.
You know, what can our country and our people do for ourselves
as an economy?
We're as a
people.
Joe Rogan always tends to point out, there are and I've learned about through many of my history classes in general. It's like there's a lot of shitty ass fucking neighborhoods out there in the U.S. that we should be focusing in on and helping to rebuild. They're no
falling
reason.
apart.
Yeah.
Almost anywhere where an automobile industry was in the past doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you're in Michigan, if you're in Denver, not Denver, sorry. If you're in Detroit, anything like that, and you're black, you're in low fucking income. Like low income. And there's no infrastructure because it's like the system hasn't been switched to technology. They're in New York and they're here. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's places in the middle where there's huge technology reservoirs. I think Georgia's a little closer to a coast, to the East Coast, but I think there's a large like technology thing going on there or something, whatever. I'm speaking out my ass.
Yeah, it happens.
But like it just seems like I don't know. Yeah. Talking out my ass.
Where were we going?
We were going with like these.
Oh, were you talking about like
these like neighborhoods that
but like
don't have a good economy?
Yeah, and it's of all races, and whether there's terrible like white trailer park places there. Yeah. Like it's just regardless. Like the fact that we should be looking inward, and it's like it's great that we want to go help all these other countries, but it's like. We? Exactly. Yeah. Like we know if in the U.S. we would be helping the U.S. Like we know, like we wouldn't be going to war. Happen. It's not like we're going to war and then trying to establish and create like a well. You know, it's like we just get to create the well, and then that means we get to create way more shit instead of like having to fight a war and create shit. Like I just don't necessarily understand, and just in general, I just think we should be looking a lot more inward and. That kind of comes also from talking out my ass because I don't really know what that looked like or what kind of shift that would be. I know, like, I as just an individual, if I find out something's made in the U.S., like I'm gonna be inclined to probably buy that more if I can. To be honest,
I literally
It's hard to find.
I literally try to own nothing that's not in the U.S. My car. I don't know where it was made.
Yeah, that shirt made in the U.S.?
My sister got me this. She's shitty. No. Yeah, she's getting to me, man. She's doing all this stuff. She's doing something for work, which seems great.
Yeah.
But she has like there's these companies that will send you like a box of clothes for like $10. She loves all those things.
Yeah.
I love this shirt, but yeah, I wouldn't. Because, there's like 40 seasons in like a Macy's year clothing season. They're just pumping out clothes and everybody buys it. My clothing, thrift store bought only. I had a pair of Converse are they Converse? Pair of Converse and Nikes given to me. I had the laptop donated. I think even Apple, no, because they build out of country. My phone's iPhone. I'm listing all the stuff I have that's out of country.
Yeah.
I don't know where JBL's from. We just bought a speaker.
I mean, it's probably, I don't know, it's tough. I wish that, but it goes to the point that I wish there was just more things out there, and I know I'm hearing about some more and more things, especially in like fitness type markets and workout type shit and outdoor gear. Like that's kind of a new American kind of like hipster market that's really starting to get out there more and more. But yeah, not much American grown weed.
No.
Yeah. Well, mine is.
Not much American grown weed, is that what you said?
No, no.
It's like
I did, but there was supposed to be a pause or a comma, or I guess a pause, or a period.
American grown weed.
There is, that's
our shit.
Yeah.
It's American shit, really.
Well, at least California, we're doing it.
Not even, dude. Fucking, you take yourself over to British Columbia. They'll show you some.
Oh, there
weed.
you go.
It's crazy over there. Oregon, California is amazing, but Arizona, you could grow weed in Arizona if you have the money for the water.
I believe that. That's true. Yeah, you can import 20,000 water bottles.
Yeah, exactly. And it costs so much to do like an indoor thing too, because the druidity is beautiful. The humidity.
Yeah. I think I need like an apple or something.
A little sugar. I have a mango there.
I haven't eaten a real food yet. I don't think. I don't know. My intermittent fasting gets a little wonky sometimes.
I'm just in constant fasting. It's how I diet. I just need to be careful of when I do it and when I don't.
Yeah, well, it feels good.
I eat too late sometimes.
Feels good. My body loves to fast.
My only thought with fasting,
that's like a fasting burp too,
is that I choose when not to fast when I need the energy to do something huge. Like if I know I'm gonna have a fat day, then I'll eat like early 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, so I can like go on this huge hike and then the gym and then drive to work and then be up at night and then get off in the morning.
Yeah, you give yourself the energy.
To get at work at 5. Yeah, like you choose when to do that little thing, but with the probiotics and just dieting right, like eating the right foods at the right time, you don't need to be eating all this fucking food. And I've done it my whole life, just eating whatever the hell was there. Like I didn't know I was lactose intolerant. Well, I wasn't. I probably made myself lactose intolerant just based off of the awful dairy products I was eating.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I drink almond milk now. And it's
almond milk, I was vegan. A girl I was talking to was kind of pushing me toward doing it again because there's no reason not to. Especially with how little I eat already, just start taking some. I got my
just gotta make sure you take the right vitamins and get the right.
My probiotics, vitamins, and so I got these keto things.
There we go.
I did a keto diet. Have you ever done that?
No, I there's so much hype around them. Everyone I know is doing them.
I loved it.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I kind of am like weirdly repulsed by it because I've heard it so many times. You know, it's like one of those things where if someone tells if you're here to watch a movie like too many times before you like actually get a chance to see it, you're like, fuck it, I don't want to watch this shit.
Yeah. That's
but
just
my parents talked about it and did it a lot. Like my brother's girlfriend, his family did it and shit like that. And they lost a lot of weight and it was good. My parents weren't as successful, but you know, you just keep getting back to it. What's it about? What?
You can't eat any products that weren't eaten by like pre-industrial revolution societies. Like you can eat ground flour, stone ground flour, eggs, dairy products that aren't when they put all that shit in it, you know, like fucking just whatever they fucking put in there. Like you can maybe eat.
Sounds weird.
I can't remember if you can't use industry. So like I don't know if you could go buy a Strauss thing of milk since it's coming from. You can use industry. So you can eat bread. You can eat meat. You can eat dairy.
I thought it was about keeping your sugar and carbs low. That's always what I thought it was about.
It does do that naturally, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you're just taking.
Because my brother's like kind of on it too.
You'd be eating, just like your plate every night would be like a thing of chicken, corn.
I don't know.
Beans. For breakfast, you'd have, you know, like eggs, beans. If you eat breakfast, and lunch would be like a salad, beans.
Yeah.
I love
God
beans.
Damn it. With the beans. I once was at the gym and I started talking to this guy and he was like,
oh, sorry.
No, he was like, me and him started working out and he was like telling me about himself. He was like, yeah, I was in prison. And he was like, yeah, and everyone would like try and bulk up and they'd just eat beans and beans and then we just eat lots of beans until you get big.
Beans aren't good for the carbs.
And he fucking he sold me on beans, dude. So
beans
like, when I was trying to get big, I'd eat beans.
If you every vegetarian person I meet, beans the staple, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Staple. I had some beans, some tortillas last night, just like seasoning, diced tomatoes.
There we go. I'm getting hungry. You mind if we
No, I think we need another 2 hours.
Give this up. Okay.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Just
I'm just gonna stare at this bush for about 40 minutes.
Maybe it'll burn eventually. Little burning bush. Take some DMT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking some stuff today.
Oh, nice. I think I'm trying. What cars do you guys want to take? Do you want to do a little? What's been going on before we head out of here?
Sure.
What's
you want to?
What's been going on in your situation? Anything new? Any working more?
What is new? Teaching's been going well. Just all my COVID activities.
How many months are you in on?
It's like 2.5 now. And me and my kids are like best buds. It's great. Like now, like we have like actual formed like bonds and relationships with them. And
you have a specific set of clients? 3, 4, 6 clients that you see?
It's
not random and shit?
Yeah, I mean sometimes you get trial kids. Sometimes you have your usuals.
Do you sub?
I'll sub sometimes. But it's cool. Sometimes the parents will write like a feedback and say like if they did good, they give you like little. But if you suck, then they'll also let you know, I guess. But I've only gotten 5 stars, so that's nice. It's
nice,
cool.
Yeah.
Or 5 flowers, is it?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, why not? And then what else? My yoga's going well, which is cool.
Do you know how many hours yet?
No, they took away the fucking hours.
They did what?
Yeah, now it's sessions. So it's like, you can't quite tell. I'm at about like 95 sessions.
Interesting.
So I don't know why they did that either. I like the hours. That was a little more cool. But whatever. So yeah, doing that. Started playing tennis again. Got my 2 new guitars. I don't know if I've had that since then. Got my new amp. I don't think I had the guitars since the last podcast. So 2 new beautiful tailored guitars. Got the new tattoo right there. Forgot about that. Named the frog Angelo as of right now. I can't think of much else on my teacher summer, which is nice. So, not working except for my online teaching, then also giving tennis lessons, which is also great.
Is there a common place that teachers go to in the world? Guys can meet up?
No.
Is there any place more likely to run into a teacher?
More likely to run into
Based
a teacher?
On your experience talking to people. Where you been? Where you going this year?
Not really. Not that I would ever imagine. Teachers are homebodies, kind of.
I would think they'd get out in the summer. Your age.
My age,
older,
but we're not in surplus.
Mm-hmm. I had a fucking elementary school teacher. My fourth and fifth grade teacher.
Yeah.
Every summer, this dude would hop in his RV with his boyfriend, for the first year, and then the law passed. It was dope as fuck. The law passed, and he's like getting married, brother, and he brings him in like all the time. He was always there.
Nice.
And my teacher was a fucker, dude. He was sweet, dope, but he would cuss you out as a 4th grader.
What?
Oh yeah.
No, get that out of
he'd
here.
be like, okay, not every day, but he'd literally be like, "You fucking motherfucker, you're so crazy. Like, you guys drive me crazy." Like, going by just crazy, by rating all over the place. And then he'd flip, like, be so cool. He did like he was the weird school was weird, so each teacher kind of had their thing. The teacher next door had a weird like thing where once every Friday, I think, she would have popcorn outside of her thing for you to buy. He, for his classes, had like a kiln, and like we did clay all the time. Like, all of my family has shit that I made him. So he was fucking cool, and then his boyfriend comes in, just like huge guy, super sweet, super quiet, kind of like apologetic. It's just like, he yells, But they were cool. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And he brought that. The one time I remember him coming in was because they got married. And, like, we all hung out, had like a little fucking party. It was so cool.
Very cool.
So cool.
Where
fish in that class.
Yeah.
That was the class I raised fish in. Did you ever do that?
No, I didn't. I didn't raise any animals.
Okay, yeah, cool.
What brought that up? Where were we going with that? I'm trying to remember. We were talking about what's new. And then all of a sudden we got on.
Oh shit. No, I don't know why I would have brought up.
Well, regardless, let's go to
grade.
what's new with you.
I got taken off of my teaching case, so I'm not teaching at the moment.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's my fault. My car, like, that's why I have the new car. I just, like, looked at what I did and was just like I had all this money, was second thinking, let my mom and, like you shouldn't do this shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't go get a car. And I was, like, trying to make it, they lived in Glen Ellen, and I, like, tried to make it up the hill a few times, got it there, that's, like, three first times. And then I missed 3 sessions because the car would not make it up the hill. Mm-hmm. And then I bought a new battery for it. I changed the oil, or I added oil, and then, like, tried to make it up again, didn't make it up it, and then I got, like, only 3 of the sessions each day, each week are at that house. 1 session on Monday each week is at the clinic.
Yeah.
So I'd see him at the clinic and I would, like, apologize and let him know what's going on. But whether I'm calling the cancellation line or not, insurance can't physically have the client lose that many hours of, like, teaching.
Yeah, it's not good for anyone. Yeah.
No. So, yeah, my fault. Not something
it's
that
a complex and rough situation. But you got a new car now.
Yes.
It's fucking sweet.
Making payments on the baby.
Yeah.
It's a Mazda, Mazda 3 Sport. We'll push to start, like a fucking 2.0 engine, baby. Got 4 doors, huge space. Like, it's long. It's a crazy large vehicle.
Yeah, I'm excited to go for a ride in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I plan on taking it to the drive-ins tonight. I don't know if we're all going in one car or not, but I don't mind going in my car at all. So that was fun. I got this cool speaker.
Fuck yes.
I got a nice JBL speaker for the Porto because I can't really take this one anywhere. I got my phone turned on because I got this like 2 months ago and it was never connected to my number. Finally went to Sprint and got that turned on, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, you know, we have this sale right now. I don't even think I had to I don't know what the fuck was going on. They were like, yeah, you know, free line for life." I was like, okay, cool. I think it was because I wanted to put a number on this phone, and I now had 2 phones. So now I have my old number on this phone and then like a line with no number on it yet for life. This number is not for life, but that new line, if I wanted to change the number, I don't have to worry about it at all. It's a free line for life.
That's dope.
I could even pay off this phone's free. So once I pay off my other phone, all I'd have is like the Sprint Drive for Wi-Fi in the car. Yeah. In case I get another client that's out there and go camp and all that shit. Mm-hmm. That's $5 a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So my bill went up like $5.
Yeah.
For this phone.
Nice.
And if my sister needs a phone, if anybody in the house needs a phone or line, it's ready.
Set. Well, I'm eventually, because my parents currently pay for my cell phone shit.
Excellence.
So I would like to get off of that.
Excellence. Come on over.
So
come on over to Jack Rand Community Circle.
What service are you doing it through?
Sprint. It's pretty decent. It's good service.
Is it? Well, I don't know what I'm on right now. But
do you have unlimited stuff?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I have unlimited. That's why I don't know if I use it a lot or not. But only because I listen to music
check it out
constantly.
But I would like to get off my parents' shit.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a perfect in between before you get your own line in whatever future.
Yeah.
But no one else is gonna be using it.
Cool. Wow. Are you ready to wrap this up? I hope it's still recording. We didn't use our mirror. I forgot about that technique.
That's very true.
So, all right. This is Dylan and Zack. Off track.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I guess you're
Yay! We went to low battery. That's cool. It's still recording.